Welcome to Teccles Cake. Today I'm joined by Ru Weerasuriya, who is the creative director of the Order 1886.
Galahad, acknowledge. This is command.
I read you, personal. All knights to arms!
You really believe the rebels are collaborating with the half-breeds?
Move on your mark. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Incoming! Let's eliminate these godless rebels once and for all.
So do you want to start by telling us a little bit, everyone's heard about it, it's the big PS4 exclusive for this year. What can we expect when we play it when it's out on the 20th?
20th of February. So the game is a third-person action shooter set in Victorian-era London, where you play a knight that belongs to the Order of the Round Table, order that survived actually for centuries. And you're there defending actually the city, you're defending humanity actually against a threat called the half-breeds, men that have evolved into something different than men.
Right, okay. So it's kind of, is it like an alternate history sort of take on things?
Yes, yeah, it's an alternate take of our history, of the history of the world. So it is the history that we know, but with the twist that the reasons why the history happened would be different than what we know today. It's this idea that there are so many mysteries actually already in history that we could explain it a different way than what people know today.
Okay, cool. And it's got a very unique sort of aesthetic to it. It looks like it's got that slightly steampunk sort of vibe to it. And yeah, and when I was playing it, the thing that struck me most was the visual side of it. But in terms of the gameplay, it did feel very, because I've only played one small section, it felt very similar to, say, I don't know, like Uncharted or any of those kind of like cover-based shooters. Yeah. What makes it unique? Is there anything that makes it, different in terms of the way that you interact with the game world?
The way the game is unique is really in the way it actually is going to be played and the pacing of the game. There are mechanics, of course. Not every mechanic that you put in a game is completely novel. It's always based off something else, and it's based off the past and things that you like. What we did with this game was not only take all these mechanics, create new ones that we haven't revealed yet. Also, then we're waiting for the players to find out, and also mix that all with the visuals that we're trying to create for this next generation of games on PS4. It's kind of a meld of a lot of different aesthetics, a lot of different ideas, content that kind of take the player on a ride, and that was a goal from the get-go. It was to try and figure out a way to give the player the controller, and give them a way to just keep on holding to it, play the whole game without dropping it, because at any given time in this game, you might actually have to interact. Whether it's a cinematic, whether it's a piece of gameplay, whether it's a boss fight, whatever it is, you always have to keep the controller in your hand in so many ways, because we've made most of what we can in this game interactive and not really just gameplay and cinematics and gameplay and movies. We've really melded the two together.
So I'm assuming that this is taking the form of Cuties. For the most part?
Not really, actually. There's not that many QTs in the game. I think that we've shown some of them, to show people like what we were doing with QTs, because we're also changing the way QTs are perceived. I think people have their own ideas about QTs, and we wanted to kind of give them a different idea of what they could be. QTs for us are just a way to basically give play interactivity in what otherwise would be a movie that you would watch. So we're not really taking anything away from people. We're giving them something more in what normally would be a passive moment where you're watching something happen.
Right.
But most of the game, actually, the core of the game is combat, shooter combat. It's navigation, it's melee and multiple different kinds of melee. It's puzzle solving, it's storytelling. So all of these things really do meld all through the game to actually give us this experience.
I mean, as I said, it does look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
It's got that really nice like film grain on it, and it's just, I mean, I was sitting really close to it, and even then it had that, it's really like close up over the shoulder. It's got that quite claustrophobic feel to it. Yeah. But I was just wondering, like, how have you, I mean, without going into too much sort of technical detail, how have you managed to get that, make it look so much better than all the games that are coming out or have come out so far on the PS4? What's the secret?
The secret is actually really a simple one. A secret is people. I mean, honestly, it's been a bunch of guys actually and girls that we've known for a long time. We've stuck together for a very long time. And when we started this game, we had ideas, like grand ideas about the things we could do, and we didn't feel like held down by anything else. So what we decided to do was basically set in place like these targets. When it came to the visuals, when it came to performance, character performance, how the face would look, the shaders, the way skin would look. We set all these visual targets and these design targets, and we just told ourselves, look, we have to reach this and we have to break the boundaries of all this stuff in order to deliver a true next-gen experience. So the risk that we took, which was sometimes, I think, naive in so many ways, the risks were the reasons why we basically got where we did, because we did things differently. We created technology out of what we knew. We didn't use anybody else's. So everything we did was our own, and because of that, we were able to achieve things I think that people are not expecting in games right now.
You specifically have achieved some amazing beards. The beards are probably the best beards that I've ever seen in a video game.
And mustaches.
Basically, and mustaches as well. And you can see on the poster there's 4 characters there, all apart from the lady, sporting some lovely facial hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they all controllable characters, or is it just the one main protagonist that you play? And then
it's the main protagonist. You play Sir Galahad in the squad, but you're basically in a squad that includes Sir Percival, who's the leader of that squad. The Marquis de Lafayette, who actually is the real Marquis de Lafayette, where we've taken his story and twisted it for our own purposes, and Lady Grain, the fourth character in the squad.
Okay, cool. And so they're going to be supporting you as you make your way through the campaign.
Absolutely.
And something that I found really interesting is the fact that you've opted not to go with a multiplayer option, which, I mean, personally, obviously people have different opinions on it, but for me, things like The Last of Us, that was an absolutely incredible game that it felt a bit superfluous having this multiplayer, and also feels like it's a bit at odds with the storyline. What was your thinking in terms of omitting that, and was that quite hard to get through with Sony in terms of, obviously nowadays people, they need to have that tick on the box almost, don't they?
Yeah, honestly, the conversation wasn't that tough with Sony. We were all on the same page when it came to like what type of the game this needed to be. And the reason why we chose single player is because we needed to open this world up to people. This is new. This is a new IP. This is a new story. It's more complex than just another story that you would set in a world that you already know. We recreated history, and for us to do justice to the story, we needed to tell it through the eyes of Sir Galahad. It was a very easy decision for us to basically say, look, we need to make a single-player game, and also the industry actually is, as you said, is accustomed to like kind of expecting multiplayer or co-op. And the reality of it is that it's kind of nice to have diversity as well. Not every game needs to have every single tick box, mark, and we felt that this game definitely didn't need that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, I'm assuming it's going to be super successful, and then hopefully off the back of that, people don't, they don't have to invest that time into what essentially most of the users aren't going to be actually enjoying. Because I mean, I don't know anyone that's turned on The Last of Us when I played it. Anyway, but seeing as this is Teccles Cake. Can you describe the Order 1886 as a cake? If it was a cake, what cake would it be?
Oh man, okay.
Sell your game as if it's a cake.
I have to sell my game as a cake, really?
Yeah, so think about it. I mean, like, would it be like, like a jam donut where it's got all the good bits in the middle? Or see, that was hard. That was my one attempt.
Good. Okay, how would I describe the Order as a cake? I would describe it as the Order as a Black Forest cake. It's got layers with like, soft sides to it, like soft whipped cream in there, with a cherry in there, with different flavors, with a little bit of something you don't expect sometimes, because some Black Forests have like a little bit of alcohol in there. So it's really a surprise, kind of hidden inside a cake. Brilliant.
Well, that's it. I mean, if that hasn't convinced you to go out and pre-order or go and buy it on the 20th, you say it's out?
Yes, the 20th of the month.
Then you can go and have your own Black Forest, The Order 1886 experience. But thank you very much for spending the time to talk to us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
And remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that YouTube business.
Look out!
Sir Galahad, this matter is not yet over.
Of that you can be sure.